We are back for the final game to close out the second last day here of the summer tour. Hopefully we get another blockbuster game as well with these two incredible teams. Spirit going up against the boys on 9Pandas. Danog, trend continues, one of them so far. We'll find out if it's going to be the second trend that continues as well for Spirit. We've had a lot of talk in this series about kind of priority between both these two teams and what Spirit have been favoring. Looks like 9Pandas, they had priority. They chose second pick, and then of course Spirit with second priority, they chose Radiant. So there we go. So it's so far the team with second pick has won both games. We'll see if that will continue.
Correct. I think that game, honestly, in my opinion, that was just Mio and Ramses getting caught out a little bit too many times, right? Like once, twice, even 3 times, you're like, all right, can kind of excuse it. But, you know, as good as Ramses was in game number 1 and having the spidey sense of where Spirit were playing, was not there. That game, you know, they were caught out 2 or 3 times right in front of the Team Spirit secret shop, and a place that really they shouldn't have been. You know, the map is huge for a reason. The extra camps on the very bottom didn't feel like they were touched a good amount of the time, and it feels like a lot of the more obvious warding spots have been discovered now. So I don't know, it just felt a little bit odd. Maybe going a little bit too greedy with this farm oriented lineup, with the Magnus and the Empower, with a position 1 that can very well use it, and Invoker with the Midas. But Team Spirit, I like that they did the right thing. You know, I was saying that maybe they could have looked to drag it late just because Yatoro is so good at playing around that Battle Fury. You have a Bat Rider and a Pango that are very good at shoving lanes out as well and just delaying it to their timings, but they just said, nah, we're not going to give them any sort of chance. If you're going to go Midas on the Invoker and then go into like this all-in Cataclysm build, we're just going to disrupt that. Make sure that you never get to cast everything in full union together.
So we'll see how different of a game it's going to be now, though, for them heading into it. Again, like we said, really priorities is going to change a lot of things with this draft in particular. So back in game 1, where Spirit had first pick, they opened up with the Bat Rider, and then we saw the response was the Techies Beastmaster. So really first we have to take a look at the bans and how that's going to change up from either side, because that's really going to make us work out what we're going to get in store for us. So currently Spirit and Radiant side, Panda's going to be on the Dire side. From that previous game, is there anything you'd like not to see? Maybe that needs to be respect banned, or overall maybe could be avoided?
Well, I think Spirit need to get rid of the Beastmaster. I just feel like it's so good on 9Pandas, both because of how well Miura plays it, as well as like it just enables some of Kiyotaka's heroes to be able to play. And it feels like 9Pandas play very heavily off the back of like pick-off. In game number 1, they were just picking people off time after time after time, and there really wasn't a big response to it. I mean, and I think they want to be the ones on the front foot as well. There's a reason that every single game they ban out the Spirit Breaker. It's because they want to be the ones playing on the front foot. So I'm very happy that Team Spirit have gotten rid of it.
So again, what does that leave through? Game 1, when they're in this position, it was the Doom Bloodseeker. So now we're going to have Bloodseeker available for 9Pandas.
10 seconds.
Potential
remaining.
6/7 response.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and I feel like this is something that you're very happy to pick on the first 2 picks for 9Pandas, right? Because the Beastmaster and the Doom have been removed. 2 of the heroes that you are still quite scared of when you've got that BKB timing early on. So the fact that they're gone, the fact that even a Spirit Breaker is gone as well from your own doing, I feel like 9Pandas are going to be very happy with that, and happy enough to be able to pick up that Bloodseeker if that's the case. Will Posh can make it 9 out of 9 for the Lich? I want to call now about it. I like the Batman, by the way.
Sure.
You know he will.
Sure.
You know he will.
Yes. This is a interesting Bat Rider ban. So there's some respect. You know, Spirit have shown now the capability to be able to. We've seen them win it in the past, but in this series in particular, 9Pandas, they beat it once. They thought they could beat it a second time. Not the case. All right. Respect is earned. Now we'll bet it out. But of course, Techies, Mag, You could go Pugner, like you've been suggesting prior. Go Pugner here and then pick up a Storm at the 8th. What else are we missing?
I'm just thinking, like, if you Pugner now,
Dire team
do 9Pandas just swap off the back of this? Fine for me too. I mean, one thing that I was going to talk about before we even got into the draft was Team Spirit's overall, like, draft structure has been the same every single time. Well, actually not that game, right? They had Lyle's hero last on the Pangolier, but you know, where Yatoro's hero gets picked up, it's pretty consistent. Collapse, he was towards the end of the draft. You know, maybe now that they just don't have that Bat Rider available, it's going to be a little different, but you got to just give the man his comfort. I wonder if they're just saying, look, we beat your Magnus with a Rubik, let's see if you can do the same, possibly putting them to the test a little bit.
I like that suggestion.
Dire team pick.
Okay, never mind. I think
There's
this
no
is
reason
pretty
to go
much
away from
a...
it.
Yeah. It's just comfort, right? It's comfort. They play very well with the techies. Maybe they'll be able to get a different answer to the Magnus, who, again, is not like solely... I mean, he's pretty much still similar. It's not, you know, the pawn toss into Skewer, but it's a upgraded Echo into Skewer. I always think, I don't know why I struggle with that, but yeah,
just think of
Harpoon
Wales
Skewer.
and you'll be fine.
Okay, I'll think of... Okay, I will think of Wales, and now I will know every single time, but the hero still plays relatively similar, so having an instant stun is always going to be nice, but this is really the pick I'm intrigued about for Pandas and what they want to go down. Real quick, I think you might need to pick Miera's hero because there's not a lot of offlaners that's going to be left. Already Doom, Beastmaster Band, and the Mag as well. So they'll go the Bloodseeker like we mentioned, but the offlane hero pool is going to be very limited soon.
I really don't hate the Bloodseeker pick though, right? Like, what do you pick up now? Are you going to threaten them to, like, go Medusa now? Just against the Bloodseeker? It doesn't feel like the worst sort of matchup. You can look to ban out a lot. It doesn't get the same benefit out of the Empower as the, you know, melee heroes like we were saying before. But it still feels like an okay Medusa game for this one so far. You know, plenty to be able to set up for it. You can just stand and fight off of the back of the Magnus finding the picks, and you know that Collapse is going to be able to find those. But alright, 9 for 9. Let's go, Vaposhka. I mean, it is team fight, it's single target, it's pick off, it's a good lane. Like, it's a good hero overall. It's just, surely the man gets tired of it. I mean, good against Bloodseeker too, right? All that single target protection.
Remaining.
Winning is fun though. Winning is fun. And if you have to play a hero 9 times in a row to go 7-0 potentially, and you could take the barley, I'm sure that is fun as well. So
if that's 9 times in a row, what is he? He's like,
I'll check actually.
Something in 3. It'd be 6 and 3, right? Because the last 2 series have been 2-1, so...
Yeah. I even want to see how many other games he's played on it. Like, this could be... I wonder how many heroes he's played in general so far in the 2. I will get that one up, but... Let's take a look at the bans. So previously, a lot of the emphasis on the second phase bans from 9Pandas has been a lot geared towards Yatoro's carry pool. We'll see if that's going to be the case in this one as well.
I'm just thinking as well, like, it's already a good offensive Dispel game against the Empower, against the Frost Shield. I don't know if you can rely on the Bloodseeker to be the one to pick it up, because it's probably going to come a little bit too late to, like, truly feel the impact. You want to get rid of that Empower for the earlier team fights, where Magnus is just able to, like, do what LGD did back at TI, what was it, 10? Where they kind of, like, cheated a lot of drafts off of, like, the tiny Lycan combination of playing a lot of Ogre Magi, for example. Just buffing heroes up at a strength that they shouldn't be at that point of the game. So, if they're able to remove those early on, I feel like, you know, 9Pandas are going to be in a pretty good spot, because we know that Bloodseeker needs a little bit of time to be able to come online. The other thing as well, I was mentioning that the Bloodseeker feels pretty happy, considering the Beastmaster and the Doom are gone, but probably, and the Spirit Breaker and the Bat Rider, to be honest, but Magnus was probably like the hero left in the pool that still was going to have some sort of disable to be able to go through that early BKB.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
My browser's having issues loading as well, so I'll try and look at Tinker Ban.
No Tinker.
Alright.
Well, to me, that suggests to me that Team Spirit kind of want to go late, right? If they're getting rid of the Tinker, someone that they are worried about getting to that level 12 mark and beyond, you've got a Magnus. You want to be able to sit back and scale. Yes, Bloodseeker's scary, but they've got answers to it. They've got the Lich, they've got the RP, they've got reposition if he doesn't get all of those spells off in conjunction, and I mean, you know, a blink skewer back into a sinister gaze, you actually can catch the Bloodseeker out before he pops the BKB as well. So maybe Team Spirit are going to look to, you know, take this one a little bit later. Game 1 was what, 30-ish minutes? Game 2, 25? I feel like we might be in the market for a 40-plus minute game.
Hopefully.
At least if Team Spirit have anything to say about it. And, you know, a lot of these heroes that have been taken out, the Beastmaster, the Doom, Bat Rider, Spirit Breaker, even Juggernaut, they play pretty aggressively early on. So, you know, they can, if you can remove those, then you're feeling fairly secure with that. I mean, the other thing that I'm a little surprised about is that the Purgner and a lot of the other enabling style heroes are still in the pool.
Team
no
Spirit's
Quap ban.
turn to pick.
Still go the Rubik. Okay, so looking to test him with it. This is probably going to be a solo Rubik, though, one would assume. Plays it fairly well, but I can't imagine taking Antares off his techies. Such a specialty hero.
10 seconds remaining.
Gives you at least a stun for the lane if it's
5
going to be with the
seconds
Bloodseeker,
remaining.
which is nice. I mean, we've seen Techie's Bloodseeker work as well, again, if you're solo playing that. But regardless, I think you just want to have a way to be able to set up for the Blood Riot. Very, very strong lane. Strong laning combo, a lot of damage. Big issues for the offlaner. Spirit look to reveal though.
I'm just thinking, like, do they Pugna Storm now? Because Quap is available, right? The lane's going to go well for the Quap if that's the sort of situation that you're going in. Maybe you Pugna Quap, right? But then you can get the risk of the Puck coming through. So there's not like an easy answer here for Team Spirit. They're always going to have an answer to it. And I feel like Quap's one of those heroes that you can make a lot of space to enable the Bloodseeker to come online. The plus side as well with the Magnus, I guess it is into that hardish matchup that you were talking about. So the Pugna might not have complete freedom to be able to build up some of the stacks for both the Storm and the Mag to be able to take, enabling Pugna to get into that early-ish level 6. You go the Puck instead, okay. I mean, it is a little better, I suppose, at making space than the Quap is at the sacrifice of damage, and of course the silence as well for these supports, very, very impactful. It's really just going to be about, you know, finding that jump onto the Pugna and the Lich as quickly as possible and being able to convert onto that with damage. Bloodseeker, you really can't afford to be the one on the front line, so really what I'm looking out for is, like, what hero can Miero play that's going to be able to convert on the Puck initiations?
Yeah.
Is it like a Night Stalker kind of game? You can play fairly aggressively, you're a natural nullifier builder. BKB very, very effective this game. You can make early rotations around the Puck.
Team Spirit's turn to
So,
ban.
yeah, before you talk about the Puck, I was thinking Tide, because we've seen Tide techies be a really strong lane. And again, with the counter initiate with Mag, but it wasn't really the fault with the Puck that you were then asking for.
No, it's not. That's my main area of concern. And, like, even some of these bans, right? The Troll Warlord really does feel like one of those big lane oppressors
5 seconds
against
remaining.
them. So I wonder if they're going to consider, like, is it Monkey, is it Slark, just something that's going to be able to bully out one of these melee offlaners that's going to be able to deal a decent amount of damage in the earliest part of the game.
So I think some options for Vittorio is, I guess why would you ban Tide and Underlord? But I was just thinking Ursa, because Ursa matches up very well as Puck. You don't care about Rupture, you're able to stand strong, no one can fight you against it. I really like Ursa Storm because you're able to get ages very fast, and Storm likes that, and then you've got the Empower for him, but no one's playing Ursa at the moment, so that's a weaker carry.
Could just be a Naga or PL, right? Like, what are they going to do early on against a Naga, for example, that's just getting a crapload of farm and pushing aggressively off of that? Doesn't feel like much, to be honest. And Storm's gonna make the space for you.
They do have a lot of issues with dealing with illusions, I think, on Pandas, which would make the map very frustrating to play.
I'm assuming that's just what they're thinking.
5
Like,
seconds
okay, if
remaining.
we pick one of these illusion heroes right now, what offlaner can 9Pandas go? Or can they flex the Bloodseeker maybe to being a 3 and then, you know, pick a position 1 that's capable of dealing of it? We know that's always an option as well, right? Like, we've seen Team Spirit do it in the past with Yatoro playing the Juggernaut, for example. I can't see a reason why 9Pandas couldn't do a similar thing
Dire
with
team
Miro
pick.
playing Bloodseeker in the offlane. Okay, so I was mentioning Slark Monkey King as the potential answers to something like that Night Stalker that's able to get aggressive early. There's one of them, so it really does make things a whole lot more challenging.
And one of the other carriers that doesn't give a damn about Rupture. You lay
10
Wukong
seconds
down,
remaining.
incredibly
Played it
strong.
out.
They've got a lot of control around it as well. You've got
5
skill
seconds
back,
remaining.
Lich Slows in control, the Storm Spirit Vortex too. I think
Instant
Monkey King's
lockdown
also
for the
one of...
puck.
Yeah, which is a big thing. Vision for the Park and able to actually be the first one to start on him. So
Choose
really
your
like the
hero.
Monkey King pick. We're going to get a Miro Enigma though. So they are going way out in left field here for the last pick on Pandas. Here we do not see a whole lot anymore. I mean, there is a bit of a response with Black Hole. You have to be picture perfect, I think, with the RP, depending on where the Black Hole is channeled, but how...
This feels kind of like a forced situation for the Enigma. Just
Yeah.
because this last pick with the Monkey King was so good, you cannot pick any sort of melee hero. It feels like a bad, like, Visage sort of game. And, you know, Enigma's good against a lot of these melee heroes that just bully in the lane. You just don't let them get to melee range against you. The downside is, early on, you're still going to have a lot of that kill threat. Like, level 3, for example, 1-1-1 build on the Monkey King. Maposhka and him should be able to get a lot of kill threat going. It's just going to be a matter of Antares, once again, on his techies, harassing them away so that isn't the case.
Yeah, I think my biggest issue is just the fact that they're going to be able to get on Miro very easily. I mean, you mentioned the lane with the build for the Monkey King, but Storm Spirit is going to be able to rotate very heavily as well. So I think, again, it's going to be another game, every single game it is, where we need to look at the mid lane. 6 minutes, when do the supports start to rotate to help secure the power runes? Is there a slight advantage between Kiyotaka and Lyle? If there is, maybe Kiyotaka can help Miro out early on. If there's not, then Lyle can really start to slow down the Enigma's game. So I really like Spirit's Draft and what they have in this game. I feel like for me, just Kiyotaka's got to pull something out of his hat in this one. And we spoke about there's a lot of stuns, but also if they play from behind, they might have issues with controlling the puck early on as well. So we'll see what he's able to do. First, though, a word from EGB.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system. Welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
We are away. Our last game of the night, last game of the second final day here. Summer Tour. Once again, it's going to be favoring Team Spirit to kick us off with the EGB odds. Then, where's this one going? For the last game of the day, let's
You gotta
let's
keep
favor
with
one
tradition.
team or the other.
You gotta keep with tradition. Team Spirit, they're gonna take it, you know. Gaben, he might hate the number 3, no Dota 3, no Half-Life 3, but we're gonna game 3 coming through here, and I think Team Spirit have got it. Their lane's incredibly good. You mentioned that Kiyotaka needs to pop off. I think it's gonna come down to the point where just him doing it on his own probably isn't gonna be enough. I think we're gonna need to see some massive black holes come out from Miro as
30
well
seconds
for
to
them
battle.
to be able to take this one on 9Pandas.
Which is a hero we haven't seen Miro play a lot recently, but I mean he's platinum tier. This man knows how to play the Enigma. Something that he had a lot of success on in the previous tours as well, when this hero was very strong. So we shall see how it's going to be able to perform in this game in particular. Hopefully we get...
Just gotta be careful here. Positioning, doesn't want to go too deep. Maybe just trying to bait out some like blood grenades to maybe make the lanes even easier for Team Spirit to be able to contest up into, but not being launched out just yet. Just a sticky bomb for now.
Are you kidding me?
Are you
What a joy.
kidding me?
A Collapse Magnus, Lal on his Storm Spirit has been really solid all tour, and of course he's going to be assisted by Mira as well. So a good luck to anyone facing up against this combination. The lane should go fine for the Storm Spirit, and with it going fine, it means that you're going to be able to make a lot of those early rotations. Mira's going to make the rotation just to make sure that Puck doesn't get too out of control, that she doesn't have the resources to be able to play around with in terms of the power runes, even the water runes, honestly, to be able to get that level 6 before the Storm Spirit, because that feels like the sort of way that 9Pandas are going to be able to come out on top here. Just getting that level 6, getting a solo kill onto the Storm Spirit off the back of the Dream Coil when he doesn't have the ball lightning after the fact.
Alright. This will start for Solo. Is able to snipe Mira's Chorus, Sentry and Salve on it. Mira's still got, Stick and Tangos to work with, so plenty of resources, but let's take the good start. Meanwhile, bottom lane, and Tara's going to go for a quick TP out. Very good read. He would have been in a lot of trouble. I think it was a blood grenade used before he escaped, and there was another blast up as well, so very nice heads up play from him, just to quickly escape the teleport.
Won't have too many more opportunities to do that, though. I mean, again, Miposhka, as soon as he gets level 2, Sinister Gaze, they're always going to be looking to hold that for those sorts of attempts. And I would imagine Yatoro, even just the 1 point in the Tree Gans, is going to give him so much value in terms of closing the gap against both the Techies and the Enigma. Of course, he might just look to level up the Boundless Strike as well, with the critical damage percentage that it provides. A good way to be able to instantly clear out a lot of those Eidolons. Side, though. A lot of action being put onto Solo here. Again, not the strongest laner is the Rubik. It's decent with the Bloodseeker if you're able to land those Blood Rights, and he wants to make sure he gets that last hit overall. Not even being tempted by the Courier is Collapse, and yeah, Mira will yoink that one.
Oh, no. Don't feed the beast. We know what Collapse can do on the Magnus. Give him first blood in a good lane. He's going to prove to be an issue. A big one at that as his game goes on.
With the first blood as well, gets that really early ring of health, so it's the sort of game again where Mira is really enabled to make a lot of these stacks happen. And whenever Antares has played previously, there's always been someone that's been really capable of taking a lot of those, ancient stacks that he builds up and getting him into that early-ish level 6. Not this time around. It's basically only the Puck or the Bloodseeker once he reaches the Maelstrom, and by the time he's got Maelstrom, level 6 should hopefully have been purchased or acquired a while ago.
Boschka. Shark back down bottom.
He wasn't out of mana. Disappointing.
Plenty of regen as well. Full set of Tango, Cell, Clarity, double Mango. He just wanted to bring the glove back for you, Toro. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Just a kind support. Always considering his carry. Just doing his bidding, as every support should. Good man he is. Playing 9 Lich games in a row.
Felt very targeted, that message, what you just said. Every good support should do it.
Nah, not to anyone in particular.
Oh, top side. Ramses. Must be very careful here. Again, always does have that potential to go for the TP out. He is put in that situation again. Of course, Pugner doesn't have that additional stun, but he does have good movement speed. Maybe not if he gets jumped, though.
So let's run further away from the tower. Pretty good body blocks out of Collapse means Mira's going to be able to activate the Salve.
Look at this
perfect. And now Ramsey, so they're going to be able to strike back. Mira's got the blast of blood grenade back up. They might go for Solo instead with an easy target. It's going to be the Rubik. Shockwave comes out. Ramsey's, he wants to try and get some revenge, but now he steps a bit too far forward too. There's no way. They're going to get ripped. They'll get the Courier. Shockwave and Skewer. Collapse.
They're happy enough just to keep him out of the lane.
Side. Whoa.
He's not farming while this is all happening. I think you're very happy with this, right? Collapse just able to pick up a lot of the farm. Like, does he have at least a salve given over? Okay, he bought the salve. Don't get it cancelled. No shockwave. See ya.
I didn't see how much duration had left.
At least half. Pushes him away from the wave.
Does he want to die?
He doesn't farm. Yeah, almost, yeah. You get the kill onto Mira for this.
Well, that's huge. A lot of life steal's going to come back. No, Solo sniped it! Oh no, that is a huge kill he needed.
He should be okay. He should be okay. There's a juicy wave here. He's gotten a bunch of denies. Man, what a play beforehand.
Is Collapse dead?
Oh no, the bait leg. Never mind. Who got baited?
Oh,
Pugner's coming back.
In trouble. Oh my god, what am I watching top lane?
That's where all the action
Ramsey's
is.
here to protect him.
Oh. What a buddy system.
Oh my lord. What? I want to see what the other lanes are doing real quick because I know the action's going to continue back top.
No, I want to keep watching top.
No, yeah, we'll keep doing that. Ramsey's just dodges out this shot. I mean, we're going to have another fight. We got the Lotus Orb coming up pretty shortly. Let it pull. Couple seconds.
I mean, with all of this fighting going on, that's exactly what you want to be going for. Ramses might be forced to pick it up over on the left-hand side. He's got phase boots coming out to him as well to really help with a lot of these trades, but not if he dies first.
Finally.
Oh, and the courier as well.
Dire's courier has been killed.
He just has not been CSing for the past, like, 2 minutes, it feels like. He's already dropped 800 net worth behind the Monkey King. And this is a Monkey King that's going to be enabled by Empower as well as the game ticks on. Look at that little bit of a flex from Collapse as well. Most of the time, you just see the pure cookie cutter these days on the Magnus. 1-4-1 build, but he's putting more points into the skewer because he realizes that this Bloodseeker really is one of the only early-ish response that they've got to a lot of the aggression.
Let's see how that pays out when he gets Rupture, though. Bit of an issue, but that is exactly right. Might be wild for Ramsey, so looks like the action will stop for the moment top lane. We got some Wisdom Runes, and Tyra's going to be able to get a stack and find 9Pandas. Meanwhile, Mira picks up their own as well.
Bot lane, Mira might die. Will die.
Alright, big one. What a start for Team Spirit. 4 kills, really, we brought it up, Kiritaka. And got to perform. Top of the net worth out of his heroes on 9Pandas, level 7. Of course, going to be the instant rush into the Witchblade. That's double bounty to be able to refill up the bottle. Maybe looking to try and get active or just wanting to continue to find his farm. See what the call is going to be.
I mean, at some point, you just have to like back your own team to be able to get out of these lanes in a fairly decent spot. You know, he just needs to focus on his own farm for now, get into the Witchblade, because again, until you reach these ultimates on the supports of 9Pandas, they really don't do much damage. See Lali looking to get aggressive onto Kiyotaka, taking away some of that status for him to be able to make plays with. Can they get the lift and snap a coil?
Looks like holding it for the last second.
Oh,
didn't find the break, and now I'll be able to get the haste room. Lars working still with the arcane as well, so Solo giving away his life. Unfortunate, the attempt was there. Pandas weren't able to capitalize. Now Lars instantly moving bottom. They see Mio stepping pretty far out in this lane.
They'll take a stack as well on the way.
Okay.
Yep, very happy to be able to take that one away from a puck. Get a nice neutral item for yourself as well. What's he got?
So yeah.
Fairy Streak, of course.
Baby.
I mean, especially if you can make this play before the Enigma is level 6. Won't have
The
that
top lane?
turnaround sort of play.
Or very interesting. Teleport rotation actually out of him.
RP was already used, so he can always just go back through the twin gate.
And that he will. So out he goes. And Nemo was still with those that missed attempt from Pandas. Still Kiyotaka top of the net worth, Witchblade about to be completed. So it looks like with this item, we'll probably start to see him play a little bit more active across the map. It's going to be much needed though. The cores on both side lanes. It's not too bad in net worth, but they are behind their opposition, so they'd love to be able to get some kills to be able to catch back up.
There's a bunch of stacks that haven't been taken yet. Pugna about to hit level 6 as well. He's been soaking up a decent amount of solo XP in that mid lane. He would love for Collapse to be able to go back and start taking some of these stacks as well inside of the Radiant Ancient camp area, but he doesn't really need to leave the lane, so why would he? You know, he's just getting some free farm here, and they might actually be looking for... Well, they were looking for a play onto Ramses, but they'll get it onto Solo instead.
Will they? It's taking a while. Collapse is also going to run into the Bloodseeker as well, and now with the +2, Mira and Lau, they're going to be able to connect as well. That is such an interesting movement from Spirit. It was a double smoke. We saw one on Yutoro Miposhka through the rift, and then another from Mira and Lau from the mid lane to top. I don't think I've ever seen a double smoke used on 2 different duos at 10 minutes in. Very crafty.
I think they just know that if they get a good time in this early game, they've got it when it comes to the lane. I mean, Enigma always kind of throws a spanner in the works, right? But you still have a Monkey King into a really good Monkey King game with solid pickoffs for the puck. Sorry, I'm just looking at this mid lane, and Mira's doing a good job of making sure that that siege creep gets removed as quickly as possible. But he's reached his level 6. He's got his Tranquils, and he's looking to go into, I assume, a Pavis. Might even be considering an Aether Lens. I've seen a couple of hunters do that in recent times, just for a little bit of that extra cast range, to be able to stay as far away from the puck as possible, making
bottom
sure
lane.
you're not getting disabled.
Miro might be forced to black hole. He's got the boys starting to TP in, but the Chain Frost stops it short. Utoro's going to be able to jump over the tree line. Ramses... Oh, Utoro actually wants to go back in. Was strong enough to be able to fight with Miposhka nearby. Doesn't think Solo's enough to be able to hold them back, and he'd be right. Ramses continuing to play incredibly defensive.
I'm just expecting to see Miro and Lyle holding hands for the next little bit, right? You've already got this 3k net worth lead. You're forcing Kiyotaka to be in an awkward position where he wants to continue scaling so that he can be that, you know, late-ish or at least mid-game damage core. Well, they wanted the Dream Coil, they landed it, but Miro, he's just not in a position to be able to land the Black Hole. They just walk away.
And Lyle's going to go in. Gotta be cautious though, Miro. Looking for the Maleficus. Out of range, and once again, coil to no avail on Kiyotaka. Really trying to force the issue. Feeling the pressure now for him to make the plays, but still yet to be rewarded. That's going to be coiled down now for this potential power rune fight.
Ramses is actually getting dived a little bit here by Yatoro as well on the bot side. That's a solo kill that Yatoro was able to get. Not even with power onto him. I mean, this is the thing, right? You just...
And now Collapse is even looking to get involved. Wants to try and catch Kiyotaka off guard, but the RP is at the ready. Dukes out the phase shift. Gonna drop it just yet. Maybe to get the kill, but like you said, I mean that... Oh, what's going on now? Lol? Oh, he cancelled his TP. Where's the Pugna?
Please, take that Watcher away. It's watching everything that you're doing right now, Collapse.
No, it's Radiance. I don't know why it's red. It's so weird. Yeah, I know.
How can you tell? Oh,
I put
vision.
put their vision on. Oh my lord! I mean, I know it's a 3k lead, but a dollar to 7.1. Jesus, CGB odds very much favoring Spirit.
Yeah, well, they knew that Lyle didn't actually have to TP back to base, right? Miro was coming back, fills him up at the gas station. Going to continue this push on forward. They just want to open up a lot of avenues to be able to go into like these ancient camp areas. They know that of everything that's happened. Sorry, Ramsey's getting dived
again.
into.
This time they might be able to respond. Never mind.
Just a second too late.
Now mid lane though, another use of the coil. Let's see if this time it's going to pay off. What? They're going to turn it back around. Suck is there. Miposhka gaze back. And now he's got plenty of health and mana to be able to go for the dive, and Tara is doing whatever he can to protect his mid laner, but Yatoro is everywhere. Top to mid he goes. The Monkey King getting involved in the early team fights. And
heal him up, Mira.
Whoa, what's the Zuck battle?
action going on.
Oh no.
It really feels like Mira has been desperate to be taking a few of these fights. It just hasn't been able to happen. You know, they've just been one step ahead on Spirit with a lot of these movements because of how these lanes have gone for them. You set yourself up for an early game, and you're not playing on the back foot anymore. You're the one making the actions and forcing a response out, and right now the connection just hasn't been there.
What am I looking at? Mira using ultimate on the cream solo, trying to drain his life. Not gonna work. Both mitigate, both cancel each other out, I should say, and in the end, now they've got all heroes around it. Let's see if Spirit want the tier 1.
It's just Harry and Voldemort going back and forth with that battle of good and evil. Who would you say is the evil? Like, I guess Pugna. He's a little evil skeleton man with a pumpkin head.
Sure. It's good enough logic for me. Go with that. Another smoke as well for Team Spirit. Utoro getting very active still. Esso's getting worked on, wanting to try and hunt down Miro, who will get scouted out from a Poshka pretty shortly. No.
I like the fact that Miposhka goes for that TP as well at the exact same time that Roche does, so even if they had any sort of vision underneath the Twin Gate, they actually wouldn't have seen him make that movement. That's a really cool little play. Might be able to get a solo kill or a dual kill actually onto Antares on this top lane. Just waiting for him to go for that blast off and won't be able to land it.
What made you think you stood a chance?
Stupendous!
Jesus, collapse is huge. And the arrow's going down. We're going to fight down bottom. My lord. I don't know how you play the map on Pandas. Every single attempt they've gone for, it's been thwarted. We have not seen a coil kill. Every time they've tried to be the ones proactive, they just haven't gotten the benefit out of these kills. No gold, no experience. They're playing very far behind. They're going to make the attempt on the wall. This time's Rams are going to be here. Silence is there with a fall of the Blood Right as well. And beautifully done. Now Mira as well. They should be able to get a chain kill. They know Utora's there. They got no way. The Maelstrom proc sees him in the trees. Is this how they get their third kill? This will be a big streak. Wow. How lucky.
Yeah, sometimes you need luck to go your way a little bit, really equalizing the net worth lead a little bit there, even forcing a TP through from Collapse, who's got a fresh Blink Dagger and Echo Saber to be able to play around with, so wanting to maybe bait out a few movements towards this tower, but doesn't seem like 9Pandas are taking the bait. That movement was the first aggressive thing that we've seen Ramses do this game. He's just been sitting back, trying to use a lot of this space to be able to farm, but it was really the kills and just that surprise aspect of being there with the Blood Right after the coil. I think Lyle made the right choice. You know, he instantly snapped the coil, not wanting to be in a position to get Black Hold. It's just that the teamwork was finally there from 9Pandas. Classic adage of farm to fight, and then fight to farm. Like they'll be able to accomplish that. Cost of solo, most likely.
Both we're going to deal with though on the cliff. But I mean, really the big winner as well is Kiyotaka. Got some massive streaks. Got the kill into Yutora, got the kill into Lal. 900 gold, maybe and a little bit more between those two. So top of the net worth by 1,000. Kai completed into the Sungeon Kai afterwards. So again, we were saying he's going to be the catalyst for Pandas as Ramses might get killed once again. Yotoro. What is it? It just half his health completely gone. One swipe of the Boundless Strike, he's doing so much damage with the Empower.
And this is one of those things where, like, this is the reasoning. Most of the time, you don't put necessarily a ton of value onto the mid-tier 1 tower anymore, but with this sort of thing, you just want to enable this Bloodseeker to get ganked in situations like that and not have quite as much of a response to it. Just keep the lanes shoved in, make sure that the Bloodseeker's revealing on the map. They're even going to get a D-ward off on this mid lane as well. They can look to continue playing around this sort of area. They've got the Watcher control at this point in time. The main concern for mine and why I like the fact that Kiyotaka's being a little greedier with his farm, top of the net worth despite the current game state, is, again, exactly what 9Pandas needed to be able to even keep within arm's reach of this game.
It doesn't really seem like it's just him as well. Like Antares hasn't been getting too involved recently. Yep, 50 last hits here for the techies. I mean, that's a double any other support. So he's playing a little bit more for his own game. Fills the value out of some of his items. Meanwhile, though, Lyle, once again, running to Miera, who's really having a rough game for the Enigma. Lowest net worth out of all the cores, only blink mechanism for him to be working with.
It certainly wasn't the last pick that you were hoping for, right? Again, I understand the logic behind picking the Enigma, but Monkey King still has tools to be able to deal with it, to be able to close the gap, to be able to use the Boundless Strike, like he has a number of times, to just annihilate an entire, split wave of Eidolons.
Yeah, I mean,
That doesn't make it easy to be able to play around with. Just one more point on the puck that we were talking about before. Like, he's got the Kyron Sange now, and I feel like... Sorry, I'm just seeing on this top side the Monkey King playing around, but where's the team? They've got a Blink Dagger on Miero, but Collapse is there with a Blink Dagger of his own to be able to play around with.
Oh, nice silence. And now Miero in with the Black Hole. That's how you find a way back into the game for the Enigma. Just one ultimate, one team fight is all you need. A big combo from them, and net worth lead completely shrunk under 1,000.
God, that was good by Kiyotaka. Like, the split second, that was mid-cast on the reverse polarity there from the Magnus, and with that, enables the Enigma to jump in, no cares in the world, lands the black hole onto 2, and more importantly, makes more space over for Ramses now. So he's got the BKB now to be able to make plays around. And you would imagine that this is going to be a little bit more of the passive 9Pandas, at least for the next little bit. We've got 5 seconds left until 2 cores spawning, but no ultimates for the next little while. Also wondering, are they going to be able to take this just with these 3 heroes? I'm really not sure if Miero and Taris and Solo are going to be able to take a Tormentor on their own. Maybe just wanting to hang around and pray that it's going to happen with an Italian. I don't think so. This is optimistic.
Ambitious.
They'll get the Wisdom Rune and they'll get a stack off, but Taris, he's level 12. He's looking to build into... He's going to pick it up as well. Yeah, level 13.
Miera's like, come on, brother. Really? I'm level 11. You taking the rune away from me? I don't know. What?
Who's the true carry?
Yeah, well, let's see how much work he's able to put in as a game. I mean, he's about to have more net worth.
Yep.
I mean, the Ag Shard does very much inflate that, but it's a good Ag Shard. That'll definitely help as well. So, man, 9Pandas, in fact, they've got the net worth lead for the first time this game. So, even though it's an 18-8 kill count, do not be confused at all. We have a very even game 3. Both game 1 and game 2 were competitive for a decent chunk of the early game, but it really started to get out of control pretty fast. But looks like game 3 is going to be a bit different. They do just
they
smoke under
right
a
under
wall,
a
though.
wall. Yep, absolutely.
Instant counter smoke.
Yeah, and pinging it out as well. Just wanting to be on the front lines, collapse especially.
Is he blind RP? Oh, wow. That's an aggressive zip. Collapse!
That's a big up!
What an RP! Is the fault going to be there? You tore off to the other side. They're going to skew them back on a Spirit's high ground. That is picture perfect. What a jump. And the fault was even better.
Great bait by Lyle there. I mean, the value of information, right? We always talk about it. And right, smoking 4 members underneath the smoke. That was the communication that we wanted to see. It was just set up to perfection, all off the back of the Observer Ward previously placed by Miposhka. The thing that I was really a little worried about, if you were a Spirit fan, is that you picked this Pugna and the Storm Spirit, and it feels like a lot of the aggressive moves have been made on the back of Yatoro instead of Lyle. You know, despite having the hero to be able to enable yourself, he just has been sitting back a little bit more, looking to farm a bit, and I feel like that's certainly not the case. You don't want to be doing that. You want to make sure that you've got that backline dive to be able to force out a few of those earlier spells, knowing that you know, you're going to have that extra layer of counter initiation coming off the back of what we just saw, right? The RP, the Chain Frost, the Wukongs. There's plenty of damage going back the other way. And 9Pandas, it's almost entirely on Kiyotaka to do that backline dive, as he's actually going to need to go through the Twin Gate right now, but Posh will scout it out.
This has to be quick, man. With that fight, we saw a lot of the ultimates were used. Scans going to be the mark, so they're well aware.
Let's see. Puck.
Oh, Kiyotaka. Bit of a coil, able to set up for the follow-up in the Blood Ride as well. Ramsey's looking for the wraparound. He's going to provide them vision. It's an awkward spot. They're all clumped up. Miero! It's off the mark. Not the black hole they needed to take the team fight. As what's the core now? Still Lars in a lot of danger. Solo stolen. Skewer finds the chain control. Yatoro's ready to spring the trap, but it's not good enough. 9Pandas evade the attempt. They're still going to be able to find Ramses completely isolated, but it looks like Kiyotaka, he can do it by himself. The slippery part, too much for them to handle. Yatoro, though, still being a bit of an issue. BKB's going to protect him. Looks to leap on forward with a finishing blow. Assassinates Solo. And they're not done just yet, but the RP back at the ready for collapse. Blink has already been used, however. So Kiyotaka be able to evade this attempt. A buyback out of him, however, on collapse. But it looks like Roche will be there for the taking on Team Spirit.
Oof, such a heavy commitment. They ended up landing the black hole eventually from Lal just zipping back into it, but it had already been cancelled by that point. Miero just not wanting to give his life up for completely free, and he even just got body blocked by a couple of Radiant creeps that were following him around, unfortunately. But this is the timing that Team Spirit are looking to play for. Off the back of that Aegis, the second life for Yatoro, and the gem picked up by Miposhka. Very lucky that that ended up working out for them, considering the fact that they gave up that high ground to Kiyotaka to be able to make that initial jump in. And of course, they'll know that there's no black hole available for the next little bit, so it's really on Antares to put himself onto the front lines, just keep spamming out those sticky bombs as much as possible, but no glyph available to be able to protect this
Radiant
tower.
structures are fortified.
Glyphing aggressively, making sure that's not going to happen.
Are they gonna high ground?
Dire's bottom tower
Oh.
has fallen.
You can clear out the rest of the tier 2s, I think. Nah, maybe. I mean, no black hole still is certainly a factor. Nero's
Radiant's
getting close to
courier
his
has been
BKB
killed.
as well, so he would love if they look to play a little bit more passive for the next bit.
That's an Octarine on Kiyotaka. Oh my god.
Dire's bottom tower.
How much
is
this?
Main game.
Yeah, without a doubt. What is he? 4-1-5. Incredible showing from him so far, but it needs to continue,
Top of the list.
which is crazy. I mean, Ramses is trying to do his best to catch up. He's got Yasha queued up pretty close to be able to finish the Sanjin Yasha, and then the Scepter afterwards as well. So still a lot more time that the Bloodseeker needs. Miero as well, very close to the BKB. So looks like their high ground not going to be forced or back on off. Tier 2 tower is going to get claimed. So a lot of aggressive vision though for Team Spirit to play with. This Age is in the hands for another 3 minutes. It's going to be a difficult night time for 9Pandas.
I mean, they're happy with 9Pandas, though, with this being delayed out, right? You've now got in 60 gold, the BKB on Miero, 25 seconds left on the Black Hole cooldown. It's into the Aegis, but you've got to remember that Collapse brought back previously, so he is going to be target number 1. If they can find some sort of way to find a wraparound to the backlines, instantly take that Magnus out of the equation with that BKB, no counter to that fact if they're able to make that sort of jump. So looking to play around their vision for now. Might just use the Eidolons as, you know, pseudo-spiderlings just to get a little bit of information onto the map. And well, they see the Magnus. They're playing up on the high ground, so they know exactly where Team Spirit are right now. It's just about finding the jump.
They're going to back one off. It looks like Pandas. Well, nothing to do with this mid lane. You see solo. Pretty good read. And unfortunately, there's going to be D-Ward, but I believe he saw Radiant's Observer. They want to take a fight around the cliff, though. Kiyotaka. A lot of damage on a Monkey King early. Trying to force the Aegis without committing too heavily.
Not though. Still got a few
Oh,
minutes left
no
on it.
way. Collapse? Oh, they get the first stun? Okay.
Not wanting to overcommit. They realize that that black hole's up and available. That's how
Oh, they're going to go for the
they
backline.
turn around. They found the Rubik.
Finds an opportunity. Easy drag back. That's what they're wanting. Just the easy kills. Get the numbers advantage. Make it a difficult defense. Of course, he's got a buyback.
Dire's middle tower is under
So it will be a big investment. Long zip away.
Big zip.
He's got the arcane.
Look at the items being purchased up by not just Lyle, but Pugner as well. They're going Scythe of Vice on both of these heroes, realizing how much of a threat Kiyotaka has been to the... Oh, look at that jump!
Again! Dude! Are you serious? Collapse has done it again. Another RP onto multiple members, and you see instantly, who gives a damn about the mid-tier 2 tower? Let's open up bottom. Yatora clears the wave. They're already hunting for more. I mean, Ramses a solo BKB just for a measly lich. And the BKB is about to expire. Miero is going to try and play around with the black hole. Lava reacts enough. He's able to zip on out of danger, and now with the black hole expended, Miero brought down with ease. This could just be multiple objectives getting claimed with ease. Team Spirit. What are they doing to them? Incredible team fights from them. They are looking very strong.
The only thing stopping them from getting those tier 3 towers was the fact that the tier 2s were still up at that point in time. What a great setup for it as well. It was a 2-man Boundless Strike by Yatoro, making sure that there was no instant reaction to it. He's gone into, of course, the level 10 Boundless Strike stun duration. And man, just setting up for that perfect initiation for Collapse. I mean, I feel like Ramses went for that kill onto the Lich and ended up getting it just to be able to steal away the gem, but ended up being Collapse, being able to come in and rescue it away, just give them more space to be able to make their own aggressive plays and enable this Bloodseeker to get to that next big item. Really can't be understated how valuable it is being able to bring him into the Aghanim Scepter, but it really, gotta be careful with his positioning though. Collapse could get the jump on him again.
It's going to be Pandas that actually start first with the call into the blood right. Collapse is in some danger. Rapture's going to get laid down as well. Yatori to the rescue. Wukong's to buy him some space with a medic off for the southern side as well. Collapse is still alive. Finally, they'll be able to get the kill, but now Lyle turns to Ramses as well. The BKB is going to get activated, but it will not matter as Lyle finds a chase down. And once again, this fight and this game is solely on Kiyotaka. The man needs to pop off, but he doesn't have an avenue to turn the fight back around. It still will be a 2-for-2 in the end. So not the worst for 9Pandas. You do lose a carry though. Still, what a start from Spirit.
You get the dieback out of the Magnus, and it really feels like that's what they need to be alive if they're going to make any sort of high ground siege or even any aggressive movements across the map. It means that Kiyotaka as well, with that first kill, was able to get the gem. So they've been using it to deward a little bit, open up the map a bit further for him to be able to pick up some of this farm. Even sees that it's even deeper into the lane, the thing enabling them to set up for a lot of those previous pick-off attempts. So what I was saying before is that, I mean, it's good that Ramses is eventually going to get into this Aghanim Sept, but it really doesn't give that big of a buff until you actually have the Aghanim Shard to be able to play alongside it. And, I mean, what's the Ag Shard status like on everyone? The only techies has it. So he's going to need to buy that as well off the back of it to truly start seeing the benefit of that shield that you get once you end up picking it up.
So I guess for a while we saw Spirit was controlling a lot of this mid portion of the map, which meant that it was very difficult for 9Pandas to deward. Off the back of that fight though, we saw finally Kiyotaka was able to get rid of those two wards, the one next to the tier 3 and the one kind of the remnants of the tier 1 mid. So speaking of Kiyotaka, is going to be able to catch out Mira. Should be a pretty easy kill into the Pugna, slowing down the Hex timing. With that being said as well, also Lyle's got enough gold for the Hex, and in fact he's got it completed. So Kiyotaka has a fine line to play. I mean, he's already starting to work into the Lincoln, so that is going to be a great way for him to protect himself against the itemization that Spirit are going for.
You'd have to imagine, though, that the main one that they're wanting to jump is still the Enigma at this stage. You know, just being able to kill that Enigma, being able to kill that hero that's going to prevent your BKBs being that safety net for you to be able to play around with is such a big deal. And
under attack.
just testing if he does or does not have the buyback. You can see Miero, he has enough to be able to start purchasing towards that refresher orb for himself right now, but I mean, buyback is at this point in the game such a valuable tool to be able to play around with. About half duration on that Roshan respawn, so that's really what Team Spirit are looking to play around with. I don't think Lyle has actually revealed on the lane ever since buying up that Scythe of Ice. He's just been playing inside the jungle for now, so this smoke that I assume is about to come, although maybe just waiting for the Pugna to join together with them.
I'm pretty sure they saw him under the ward at the portal. Oh, zip in. Who do they see? It's going to be Ramses. There's the Hex, there's the Vortex, and the chain control. It'll be... Oh, he even got the BKB off anyway. Solo? Collapse is still on the hunt, but... Ball Lightning Stolen, so able to get on the way, but... He's just going to respawn with Roche being up for about 10 seconds, so... I mean, Spirit, they've dropped the Remnant down inside the pit. They're going to be well aware as soon as it's up.
Here I am. I mean, this is the thing, right? You got the gem, you finally got the ability to leave outside the base, and it was probably one of the more obvious cliff wards that ends up being your undoing. Really deep dive in by Lyle, but he's got the regeneration to be able to play around with, and a Pugna. You're more than happy to expend a ton of your resources. Solo just using the Ball Lightning right now to be able to clear out some of these creep waves a little bit safer, not being under the threat of being skewered back by Collapse.
Interesting.
Just use their gems once again on Team Spirit to be able to remove even more of the 9Pandas visions, so no Observer Wards out on the map for them right now. They are playing blind. It's really just on Kiyotaka, playing around the high ground, playing around that blink, jumping up onto the high ground to be able to make plays, and they're looking like they just want to set up around this next Roshan up on towards the top side. At least they'll get a little bit of information on this. They've got a proximity mine set up right outside the dire Roche pit. So even if they go for a smoke into it, it should end up popping. Back in the lane, maybe might be calling them to make a bit of an aggressive play down toward the southern side, but as always, Roshan, such a big difference maker, and both teams have such great tools to be able to fight around it. Wukong's RP, Dream Coil, Black Hole.
Buybacks too. That's a big thing.
Especially
It's a big
for
fight.
Pandas. They're next to the Dire outpost.
Huge ward. Oh, they got Ramses. Quick fingers on the telekinesis mirror. That's a better black hole to 2. And it's 2 vital heroes, but Yatoro able to stand strong, activate to BB, and then just turn and shred them. No one can stand strong against the Wukong. Yatoro reigns supreme in spirit. Looked like a rough start off the black hole. They almost even got the puck as well off the back of the TP out, but Yatoro will not even die. And once again, Roche will go their way.
It was a pretty early BKB coming out for the Bloodseeker, but I mean, he's been forced to use it so many times that it's already down to that 6 seconds. So great black hole. They get that turnaround. They look to get the kill. Otter collapse. He's forced to use another buyback out of it, but again, well worth it when you're looking to go up onto this high ground, and there's the potential that 9Pandas don't have their buybacks, and well, spoiler alert, they don't. 3 of them respawning in 10 seconds. Bloodseeker still 30 away, so right now Kiyotaka doing his absolute best to try and force their attention away anywhere else on the map.
Tower is under attack.
Not going to be the case though. They are just falling up onto this high ground. Level 25 as well for Yatoro, so he's got the additional Wukong's ring. We know how good a Monkey King is at being able to siege that high ground. Even just being able to use the Aghanim Scepter as well. Keep standing right next to the tower, use that to assist with some of the high ground siege. Finally be forced back a little bit, but the side...
Great pop of the Lincolns. Hex going to be there, but the RP collapse wanting to make sure they guaranteed the kill.
Finally got
and
it.
they'll do just that. He's going to buy back. He'll use it instantly. Can they cancel the TP though? I mean, that's a huge buyback forced out, but it's an even better coil though from Kiyotaka onto 3, but he sees no one. Zero vision for Pandas to work with, and they are super hesitant. Ramses wants nothing to do with that, and now with the buyback used from Kiyotaka, this is put a big win condition on the board now for Spirit.
Thinking of a way back from 9Pandas other than just the obvious of, you know, big Dream Coil into big 5-man black hole. I mean, Ramses is 200 gold away from the Aghanims, but again, he needs that Aghanim shard to be able to just consistently stand in a lot of these fights. It does enable you to man fight at least a little bit more effectively against the Monkey King, because you're going to have that lifesteal. You're going to be hitting frequently, even inside of the Wukong's ring with all of the additional armor. Still going to deal that 1.8% pure damage to it. But I'm just not worried that it's not going to be enough with how far ahead the Monkey King is right now. He's even going for a Hyperstone on Yatoro.
Yutaka! Oh my lord. I don't know how much it mattered, but with that zip it cut down the tree. Maybe Yutaro could have leapt forward and got the boundless off regardless. Live to see another day. He's going to be under the ward though. Do they go back? Man, dude. Pucks are just slippery buggers, dude. They give me anxiety watching them play. Oh my god.
This is the best 6-3 puck game that I've ever seen, though, I gotta say. Like, Kiyotaka, he is the one keeping them in it right now.
Dude, how is he there? This guy is so crazy. He knows his limits.
Up that shot as well. Yatoro forcing some sort of response out. You can just see Collapse waiting for that little opening up. He just came off cooldown as well. Oh, they fortified just as the backdoor protection kicked in as well. Like, this is the nerves that come through. You want to be able to secure yourself more of a spot. I mean, I really don't think Yatoro cares about getting lifted slightly closer towards the 9Pandas base. Got some decent lines set up in the area, and Yatoro's going to pop a couple of them.
Alright, Refresher picked up from Miera. He sold a couple of things for it. Hit the double black hole. We'll use it.
Gotta go on the back line. Might need to use Ramses as bait. He's under the smoke right now through the ninja gear. Through the full team smoke.
Smokes in the pop. Yatoro starts instant use of the boundless strike down with the skill back as well. Formation has been broken. Can they keep the Bloodseeker alive? He's falling lower and lower, and Ramsey's got no one there to protect him. Where are the boys? Miero hasn't found an angle for the black hole. Now low, he's going to force their hand. A zip in onto Antares, stuck outside the base, and a boundless strike cuts away the remaining health pool a 3v5, could be a 4v5 with the buyback on the techies. But this is your last set of barracks now. They're gonna go.
I mean, I just don't think they'll have the damage, man. They've got 50 seconds left on the Aegis, and he's been healed up to full.
He's in. All right.
Two-man, but is it enough?
Double black hole. He's going to be able to have the fourth afterwards as well. There's the secondary one. He didn't get it. Collapse was quick on the fingers. RP to stop him short. And that should be all she wrote. Kiyotaka and Solo. They stole the RP on Solo, but it will not matter. Tips are even there. A worthwhile attempt. A valiant one at that. But G's are dropped in Spirit. They will go undefeated in the summer tour. They were already guaranteed a spot at the Bali Major. But man, those DPC points are incredibly valuable.
Yeah, guaranteed 500 of them now. Previously, just the 200. Could have finished as low as third, but first place coming through from Team Spirit after, I believe, second in both tours 1 and 2. So this is the way you want to be finishing strong towards the end of the year. Even if they bomb out at the major, we'll have 1,020 points. I think that should leave them relatively safe when it comes to TI qualification. It's going to need to take some challenging permutations for them not to make it, but big congrats have to be given to them, both for their performance in this last series, but also just the entertainment throughout the tour. Has it ever been done before? 7 series all going 2-1 to one team.
Damn, that's true. Actually, I'm not quite sure. So that's got to feel good. I mean, a little bit of revenge as well, because again, in the first tour, BetBoom came out on top. Second tour, it was 9Pandas, Hellraisers that went 7-0. And second place, like you said, was Team Spirit. So now it's going to be the opposite, at least at the moment. Spirit going 7-0, getting some revenge. And the top dogs currently in Eastern Europe. And I know a couple of those boys as well. A little bit of monkey on their shoulder. Definitely their mid laner, Flau. What a performance from him, and overall through the tour as well. That's going to be a lot of confidence for him, and he is looking very, very good heading into the Bali Major. Not just him, but the team as well.
What a performance by Yatoro, man. Like, that is a phenomenal performance. 0 items that enabled him to scale. Like, no Maelstrom, no Battle Fury. It was all damage. He was farming those Eidolons, and he was farming heroes like they were creeps. You know, finishing 18, 2, and 16 on that Monkey King. He was the space creator and the farmer, top in the net worth, by far the most damage in the game as well, even ahead of Kiyotaka's Puck that was honestly falling out of control, and Tara's 30k damage for him as well. But it really just did feel like they had no ways to be able to get onto those backlines, and just a couple of things, right? It felt like everything needed to go right for 9Pandas if they were going to take the W.
We've said it before, but it really feels like Yatoro might be back in some scary, scary TI form. This man is carrying games, putting the team on his back when it's required, when it's not even required, when everyone else is still having an incredible performance as well. And I mean, enough about the cause, the supports as well that game. We saw one in particular was that ward from Aposhka that scouted out the smoke that set up for the triple RP on Collapse in the river. I mean, we saw Mirror Medic as well multiple times inside that game, and I mean that's a big reason why Lal was able to have so much impact too. So
not even just that, he was healing up Yatoro, he was healing up Collapse inside of the Wukongs, just making sure you could stand there and there was absolutely nothing they could do about it. 26k healing on Mirror. He finished up with a Scythe of Vice as well. They realized that Kiyotaka was the only way that they were going to be able to win this game, and I mean both him and Lal having that additional layer of control for him, it just pushed it over the edge. Really solid performance overall by Team Spirit. They made their fans, a little nervous again for the 7th time, but they pull it out in the end.
That they do indeed, and it means we have a very, very exciting final day here for us in store, which is going to be tomorrow as well, so not a lot of break. We got BetBoom taking on Namiga, and then we got 9Pandas taking on Virtus Pro as well. So for BetBoom, if they beat Namiga, then they are guaranteed a slot at the Bali Major. If Namiga lose as well, then they will be playing tiebreakers against Hydra and One Move, so there will be a 3-way tiebreaker for relegation. If they win, of course, they guarantee themselves to stick around in Division 1 for the next tour. And then we got 9Pandas versus Virtus Pro. Whoever wins that will be going to the major as well. Tomorrow, we have 2 slots on the line. There is a lot A very exciting Dota still in store for us. One final day, potentially, well, definitely tiebreaker action as well with relegation, but potentially some tiebreakers for the major slot as well. So for us, we are done tonight. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Again, we'll be back tomorrow starting 3 hours later. Of course, it's only going to be 2 series, not the 3 series tomorrow, but like we said, there's a lot of very, very exciting Dota to still go around. Danog, any closing comments for tonight?
The series delivered. This is what we wanted to see. This is, back and forth action. Lots of brawling. No sitting back and just passively farming. Even in those Magnus games, both of them looking to get really active and on the front foot. So always a pleasure to cast it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And we will be back tomorrow to cast some more Eastern European Dota. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. And have a good night.
We'll see you then.